What's up, guys? So today we're digging into the Supra. So I had mentioned these issues in a couple of videos before, that when I turn on the headlights, the fuel pump turns off, and I wasn't sure if it was the computer that was turning off or it was the fuel pump that's turning off. I kind of just didn't drive it at night, or just kind of brushed off the issue because I really wasn't driving it. But I want to get down to the bottom of it. Wiring sucks, and it's super time consuming, so I'm not sure how long this is going to take, but I decided just to start this video and just see where it goes. So I'm going to take off the front bumper, take a look at all the wiring around the headlights in the front, and then go through just all the wiring and just see what the problem is. So hopefully we can get to the bottom of this, because the lights did work. At one point, everything worked. The windows went up and down. There was no issues with the wiring, but at some point, the windows stopped working. And then the headlight issue kind of came along with that. So let's just start taking it apart. Well, there's a lot of wiring right there. The fuse box, when they put this car together, they put the front one underneath, kind of by the tire. So I'm not sure if any of this stuff is messed up, but this is one thing I wanted to take a look at. All right, so I've just been going through all the wiring around the headlights and to the fuse box, and making sure nothing is touching. Whoever did this wiring harness when they had the car 4 years ago, because I've had it I think for like 4 or 5 years, they kind of ran their own wires to different things. So I'm kind of learning what the harness is doing, and just basically checking everything out and making sure there's nothing that's causing an issue from like being grounded, or just any new cuts in the wires. But I didn't find anything up front, so I'm gonna go on the inside and tear some stuff apart and see if we can't find it there. So when I first got this car, it was on Mega Squirt. I ended up taking all that out and just doing the Holley HP with the Holley harness. So the only thing that we've really done for wiring in this car is tie in the Holley harness, which is not really a lot of wires. But I already went and cut all the zip ties off and got all the wires opened back up, so I can kind of see what's what. And this is what we got so far. This wire right here is the wire that goes to the front, to the fuse box. So when they put the wiring in the car, I guess they just ran this one straight to the fuse box, and then this goes to the battery. I don't know why they didn't put a connector here, but this was all hidden under the electrical tape, which had this in it. And then I used this one for the power of the ECU because it was constant. I went ahead and just moved it from there, and I went straight to the battery, just to eliminate that as an issue, because like I said, I wasn't sure if it was cutting off the ECU or the fuel pump. So I'm just trying to go just attack things in steps. So now that is onto straight onto the battery, I know that's not the issue. And then I just got to go through a couple more wires. Like the Holley harness comes with, let's see, it was these wires right here. This one's for the fuel pump, 12 volt, and then this one goes to constant, and then this red and white wire goes to switch power. So this switch power I have connected over there, which is the same wire I'm using for the dash. And you would think, you know, when it does the little issue, it would turn off the dash if that was an issue, and it's not. So I still want to run this on its own thing just to eliminate that. Before I do that, I'm going to go and check the fuel pump relay and make sure everything is good and wired over there. Here's the fuel pump relay. This has been like this since I've got the car, and I've never had an issue with it, so I don't see why any of these wires would be messing with it. But I did take a good look at it, and everything seems to be wired fine, so the issue's not there. This issue is just a really weird one. I mean, all wiring problems are weird, you know, until you find out what the issue is. So I have my buddy Mike coming over here probably tomorrow or by the weekend. He's gonna help me look at it and see if he can help me figure it out. But I'm kind of just, I really don't know what to do at this point. I'm just gonna keep looking over the wiring and yeah, just brainstorm at it a little bit more. These issues kind of suck to find out what the problems are, but the fun part is when you actually figure it out. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and I'm just gonna keep pushing. All right, so today I decided to just wire everything straight to the battery just to get rid of some things. So I wired the fuel pump to a switch. I put the computer straight to the battery, and still for some reason when I turn it on, the fuel pump stays on, the computer is staying on because it's straight to the battery, and it still turns off. So I'm just sitting here thinking, just what could it be? I'm gonna find out what it is, but I'm just baffled by it. I've literally been standing in front of this car looking at it for like an hour straight, just like thinking like, what is it? How is it turning off the motor? Everything basically is straight to the battery. I know there's something that I'm not catching, but we're gonna find you. We're gonna find you. All right, I am so excited right now. I was sitting down in the chair just thinking about it more. I'm like, man, I got everything to the battery, but the one thing that's not to the battery is the ground wire. So I chased down the ground wire, and it's plugged into, I think we had it somewhere with the radio wiring. And I guess when you turn the headlights on, it must have been killing the ground for that wire. So I ran the ground straight to the battery, and like as soon as I thought of this, I got up and I'm like so excited. I'm like, yeah, right, this better be it. Because if this ain't it, then I don't know what the heck it could be. So let me just show you guys. All my wiring is ghetto as fuck right now, but you see I have this right here. So that's the fuel pump. Got my charger on there because I've been doing so many test things on here. And then what do we got? Let me find the key. How did I lose the key now? I'm just a mess. I'm just a mess right now, guys. Oh, it's hooked onto my damn pants. Bro, I'm so excited. The dumbest things, bro. I swear. We're back, baby. All right, just so you guys have a better look at this. This wire, let me see if I can get the light right. This wire right here is like the main wire for the harness, and it's grounded here. It's like the thicker ground and then the thicker power, so that you have to the battery. And then up here on the harness you have the switched powered, which is the red with the white, and then you have the regular, just the ground. So this is the ground that was hooked up to one of the wires that was on the radio. And when you turn the key, the key's off, it's ground. When the key's on, it's ground. But when you turn the headlights on, it's actually feeding power through that wire. So that's what was turning the computer off. And luckily it didn't like do any damage to it, sending power to it. So I think we got lucky there. But now that I tested that wire, which was right here on the harness, this guy right here, testing it right now, like you can see that it gets power right when you turn the lights on. So this issue must have been like since we had the Holley harness in here, because I remember that day we were doing it at PFI and we kind of rushed it because we were dynoing it that day too. So I'm pretty sure I just found that ground wire and I just stuck it to it and it worked fine, so I didn't even think anything of it until I guess I started, because I think that night too it ended up like we turned it up too high and it ended up blowing the motor, so we didn't even drive the car much with it with the Holley harness when it first was in there. So I didn't, like I said, I didn't really think about it. But then now yeah, we found the issue. And it's crazy because like that is the last place I looked. I literally went through everything and then the last place was that, which I'm glad that I found, but what kind of luck is it that it's the last place you look? But sometimes that's how it is, you know, with wiring. Like I said, it sucks, but we did figure it out. So I'm gonna run to the store real quick, grab some connectors that I need to clean up some of this harness, and then zip tie some stuff up and just get it all nice and neat. That way we don't have any more issues. All right, so I got everything all put away. The ECUs in the glove box, that's all good. Everything's zip tied. And then in the front, I went ahead and just zip tied everything out of the way. I got this fuse box zip tied up here in the corner. So it's all good to go. I think I'm gonna back the four-wheeler out and go take it for a cruise. I guess it's been a while since I cruised the Supra at night. So I'm over here at the Thornton's getting some E85. I had the car on when I came here and I saw like something arcing from here, and I was looking at it and it looks like this spark plug wire is arcing against the header right there. You can barely see it, but since the hood's off and it is at night, I can see it now. So I think that was the issue when the car caught on fire. Now that I think about it, it was probably arcing and just lit that side on fire, because that's exactly where the fire started. So I'm gonna get some zip ties and get that away from there, and probably just have to change the whole wire. That way we get rid of that issue, because we don't want this thing burning down. That's why you always keep zip ties inside your car, because you never know what you're gonna need it for. She might need some plugs. Well, just made it back to the house. The lights work, the engine doesn't turn off, so that's a good sign. It kind of feels good cruising the Supra at night. It's nice weather right now. I tried to get on it a couple times, but it's still hitting boost cuts. So I hit up Dr. Tune 'em All to see if he can do like a street tune here soon. So we'll see, maybe that's in the future. But for now, there's a couple other things that I want to sort out on the Supra, but you know, little by little, one thing at a time. I know the windows still don't work. I ordered 2 fuses online that keep blowing, and it's like a Toyota fuse, so it's not just a regular fuse. So once I get those in, I'll start looking to see what the problem is there. But for now, I think that's going to be it for this video. I know it was just a lot of work again, and for me it was a big accomplishment, because going into the video I didn't know what the issue was, and then now finishing the video, it was just one ground wire, man. Sometimes it's just that one wire, you know. It's always just something small, but it's finding out what it is, and then when you find out, you're like, huh, I could have fixed that a lot sooner. Obviously it still needs more stuff, but that is to come. But this is gonna be it for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. More content coming soon. I have parts sitting on top of the Civic right now, so parts are coming in for it, and I'm waiting on one more box, and then I will show you guys what I got for it, and we'll get to work on that. So have a good night, guys.